The rain tapped lightly against my window the afternoon I decided to clean out the attic. Dust hung in the air like fog, and the scent of old wood and forgotten memories filled my lungs. I wasn't looking for anything in particular, maybe just a way to fill the silence that had become too loud since I moved back into my childhood home. That's when I found it. A leather-bound book, its surface cracked with age, lay at the bottom of an old box marked Misk. I didn't recognize it at first. I turned it over and my name was there, carved into the inside cover in handwriting that looked suspiciously like mine. The title page said simply, Diary 2009. I frowned. I never kept a diary, not in 2009, not ever. I flipped to the first page half expecting it to be blank, but it wasn't. It was full. Not just full, overflowing with entries. Dozens of them, written in that same handwriting. Each entry dated and detailed, memories, dreams, secrets, but none of them were mine. At least I didn't remember them being mine. The first entry read, March 2nd, 2009. Today I saw her again. Same red coat, same place by the bridge. I waved, but she didn't see me. Or maybe she did and chose not to wave back. I don't think she knows who I am anymore. I'm starting to wonder if I ever knew her at all. I closed the book, heart racing. I didn't know anyone in a red coat. I didn't remember any bridge. And yet reading that entry had made something stir, like a breeze brushing, the edge of a curtain in a closed room. The next page called to me. I opened to the next entry, dated just a day later. March 3rd, 2009. I followed her today. Not in a creepy way, I just needed to be sure she was real. She went into the bookstore on Elm, the one that smells like cinnamon and wet paper. She bought a book on dream symbolism. I wonder if she dreams of me too. The penmanship grew shakier near the bottom of the page as if the writer, me, had been nervous. I shut the diary again, this time slower, more deliberately. My mind spun with questions. There was a bookstore on Elm. I used to go there as a kid. It had been closed for years now. I tried to remember the smell. Cinnamon? Maybe. But I hadn't been inside since I was 12. I stood in the attic for a long time, staring at the book in my hands. I could almost hear the turning of pages, as if it was reading itself to me. The entries weren't random. They were familiar in a way that frightened me. I didn't remember writing them, but some part of me recognized them. A feeling like déjà vu stretched thin over forgotten time. I carried the diary downstairs and sat on the edge of my bed. For a moment, I considered throwing it away or burning it, but curiosity had its claws in me now. I flipped to an entry a week later. March 10th, 2009, I spoke to her. Her name is Claire. She smiled when I said mine. But the weird thing is, I didn't give her my name. She said it first, like she already knew me. She said, "You're late." I don't understand what she meant. Claire. I had known a Claire once, briefly. We were in the same summer camp, but I hadn't thought of her in years. We barely talked. But now her name echoed in my head like a secret I wasn't supposed to forget. And then I noticed something. The dates in the diary. Every entry was exactly 16 years ago to the day. I looked at the clock. March 10, 2025. I glanced at the final line on the page. I think she's going to tell me everything tomorrow. I snapped the book shut. Was there an entry for tomorrow? I reached for the next page, slowly. It was blank, but only for a moment. Ink began to bleed into the page, forming words right in front of my eyes. The ink spread like veins across the page, the letters forming one deliberate word at a time. March 11th, 2025, she waited by the bridge. I felt a chill crawl down my spine. The red coat was brighter than I remembered. She turned, smiled, and said, "You finally found it." I asked what she meant. She touched the diary in my hands and said, "You wrote it, but not in this life." I stared, stunned as the words kept appearing. She told me this wasn't the first time I'd read these pages, that each time I returned I forgot more, that the diary is the last thread that keeps me tethered to her. I asked her why I forgot. She said, "Because some memories only belong to the in-between." The page grew darker as if soaked in shadow, but the final lines still burned into the paper. "This is the last time." I closed the book. I didn't go to the bridge. I didn't want to know what would happen, if I did, or if I had already been there before. Instead, I placed the diary back into the attic box and sealed it shut. But even now, as I write this, I still hear her voice in my dreams, whispering a name I shouldn't remember, and waiting, always waiting by the bridge.